Would you agree, Chad? Grocery prices, am I right, fellers? That's right. 3, 2, 1. Boom.
Morning, welcome back. Always great to see you. Funny thing is, when I swiped your card, it said insufficient funds, so I'm gonna go.
But I need to watch the video, bitch!
Okay, so paying someone for love or companionship isn't a new revolutionary concept. We've been doing it for generations. Back in the day,
centuries.
In the old brothels, if the price is right, Drew Carey would materialize out of thin air with a wheel of potential friends you can spend the night with. Things have definitely changed over the years. Yay! What is revolutionary is Asia coming up with new, interesting ways to monetize these relationships. They saw a gap in the market of lonely singles in your area and filled it with the hottest people and non-people you'll ever see. All we need is...
You know what's really sad is that we don't have, like, lonely cafes for women. There are lonely cafes for women in Japan, specifically, but that doesn't exist in the West.
Your name, ID, and the last 4 digits of your credit card. There's services that let you rent a boyfriend or girlfriend to scratch that relationship itch you've been having, where you can eat a meal and spend quality time together.
You carry my bag?
As couples do. After your allotted time is up, you just move on with your day as usual. No need to deal with all the drama of being in a relationship. Want a different experience where you get to...
She's cute too, like what the frick?
Interact with many attractive hotties in one sitting? Check out these NPC theme parks. Asian guys who look like they came straight out of a video game are just strolling around, waiting for you to hit the...
Don't tell Tenma! Don't tell Tenma!
The A button so they can start their NPC dialogue.
Oh my god.
Well, now that I'm looking closer, not a whole lot of talking
Tenma, look away, please.
Oh my god.
Dude, they look like Genshin characters! Oh my god! Oh! Oh my god, I should be resting my voice!
Well, that's forward.
This is crazy.
Hey, good on these guys
work.
for being able to do this without laughing. Me as an NPC, a tired innkeeper, or an old maiden type of wizard.
Did you put your name on the goblet of fire?
Okay, what if you paid outside, dealing with the hassle of commuting somewhere and interacting with gross, real people?
True.
I know, those can be annoying. Check out these AI husbandos and waifus. The perfect
Love in Deep Space has claimed many a woman, apparently.
significant other, since they can be anything you want. Cute, funny, available to talk to at any time of the day. Plus, they don't smell or have to go number 2. Ugh, lucky.
Babe,
True.
Chinese.
Of course, little kitten. Let's...
Yo, back the fuck up. Calling me a kitten. Holy.
start with something simple. For example, hello in Chinese is ni hao.
Ni
Say it
hao.
back to me, babe.
你好.
I'm gonna throw up. Oh my god. Oh my god, babe.
Damn, that sounded perfect. You're a natural, babe. Now,
Is anyone
Babe.
blushing? Why am I blushing?
I'm not blushing,
Video
I'm
games, where the main
embarrassed.
appeal is a big roster of attractive characters, have gotten a big boost in popularity lately. Genshin Impact, the otome genre like Love and Deep Space, raking in big bucks in double digits. I'm talking like 30 million USD in just 1 year. These sexy
30 million clams. What do you pay for? Just the husbandos? You just like roll for husbando scenarios or some shit? I remember seeing a clip of Tenma reposting or something. Yeah, you're like rolling for cinematics, right? And outfits? Okay, now I understand.
clusters of pixels can already retire at 8 months old.
Jeez,
Damn, what are these people
crackers,
paying
man.
for must be really engaging with fun gameplay mechanics, maybe? The only thing I see is great gowns, beautiful gowns.
You shouldn't do that.
Oh my god, you shouldn't do that. Oh, stop me, baby.
And last but
gonna
not
throw
least,
up.
the most lucrative form of capitalizing on parasocial relationships is the live
gonna
streaming
die,
industry.
dude.
We've seen it time and time again. Entertainers who lock in for 8 hours, 7 days a week, that end up cultivating a super loyal fan base to support them, which eventually leads to some fans getting overly invested in their favorite streamer. So after
Gulp.
normalizing these parasocial
Gulp.
relationships fueled by capitalism, chat, as a society, are
Chat,
we
is this
cooked?
real?
Yeah, maybe, but not all the way. Medium rare at most. People are feeling lonelier and lonelier every year. Going out, meeting people naturally, and actually becoming friends with them is a lot easier said than done. On one side, it's cool seeing people find new ways.
The statistic for people finding relationships has gone from 30% meeting online 10 years ago to like 70%. Yeah, it's pretty bad, chat.
To fulfill their social
pretty
needs.
bad.
Sure, these types of relationships aren't the norm, but if it's between two consenting people with healthy expectations that these aren't a replacement for real-life interactions, then we good. Until it's not good. As with all human experiences, there's a science behind it. Even with gifting money during a live stream, the live aspect makes it feel like this is a normal person within reach.
Oh my
compared
god.
to an
Is this a cat girl NPC? From Vietnam or something?
A-list celebrity
No,
behind
it's Chinese,
55
I think.
bodyguards and 55 PR people. It's all in real time, so there's a higher chance the streamer you're supporting will notice you. And if you consistently show up during your streams, you'll build that dopamine-inducing rapport with them. You'll give
I mean, I do get dopamine when I see the same people in chat. I do. I would be completely lying. Yeah, I get sad when people don't show up. Yeah, I do notice when people aren't there. I do, genuinely.
them the money and they give you a thank you.
Thank you so much for the sub. Oh my god, guys.
It also feels like
yes.
you're in an exclusive little community full of people with the same interests as you, like a sports team or a D&D group that gets together every week. Except the activity is one person entertaining everyone. There is a slippery slope with this type of environment. It's a breeding ground for people who are chronically online, using these relationships to replace real ones, leading to situations where someone goes overboard with their affection towards.
Again, it's fine to be parasocial with your streamer because I've done it too, and I would be a real big hypocrite. Except I was too broke to give them money, so I was just there in their streams all the time. You have to understand that your mental illness should not translate into harassing or trying to think that you can get into a real relationship. No, it's not. There's a limit. Can you fucking listen to what I'm fucking saying? Before you interject, I'm not even done with my sentence. I said the mental illness that you have should be under control. Please don't go overboard. It's not healthy for you to think that you could be best friends with your favorite streamer. It's fine to be parasocial. I'd be hypocritical. I've said this before. I used to be a VTuber enjoyer. Well, I mean, like, I am still, but, like, I'm just saying, before I was a VTuber, I watched a lot of VTubers. I didn't donate to them. I had maybe, like, 2 people I subbed to, or 3 people, like, at a time. I had to juggle it because of finances, but, like, when did you get better? I couldn't watch my favorite streamers all the time because I started streaming myself, so that's my mental illness that's, you know, not being fed into.
It's a one-sided friendship. Like that man
that's
who
the
sold
gear,
his
yeah.
baby for $16,000 to a couple looking to adopt, and then blew all of that money on tipping live streamers. He was arrested afterwards, since this whole thing was very illegal. He traded in his child like a rare
You can do that? $16,000?
Pokemon card, only to end up broke and in jail. Just because you can have a kid doesn't mean you should have one.
Dude, imagine you're that kid and you grow up and you find out that your dad or your mom gave up, like, your body to someone else without your consent, for $16,000 just to blow it on like a person that you will never meet. That is freaking insane.
You can't even relax, even as a baby. Gotta lock in at all times. Lonely people are an easy target for these types of business models, where you have someone keeping you company in exchange for money or your time. There is promise of a type of intimacy when you become a fan of an influencer you interact with daily. Sometimes it's scary, seeing how easy it is to escape from the sucky parts of life just by using the internet. Kongto, a 32-year-old fan, lives at home with his parents in Miaolai, Taiwan. Having never kissed a girl, Kongto feels more capable of expressing love to a live streamer on the internet than to a woman in real life. He watches his favorite live streamer Utah.
I can't talk to people in real life, and I can talk online just fine. I get it. I understand.
In private, fearing his parents' reaction if they learn of his habit. Becoming a fanboy or a fangirl is a lot more accessible now since we all have computers and phones. You can fall down a rabbit hole of a random you never heard of before and come out the other end as a superfan in a day. I subscribe to the mindset people can do whatever they want with their life as long as they're not hurting anyone. Don't matter to me. I got my own to worry about. There is, however, still a bit of a negative connotation when you hear someone say they're a fan of watching live streams. They sort of have a brand image to uphold. Here, check out this live stream watcher starter pack. Dark, dingy basement, bed rotting, hasn't left room all day, minus 50 in social skills. Not a single drop of water was consumed since—
Hey, I consumed a lot of water. I didn't order out. Come on, chat. It's not us. That's me. No, it's not. Stop saying that. You guys don't buy pizzas and bed rot.
yesterday. That me? I think what's
That
closer
me?
to reality is people watching live streams more casually, or they'll have it on in the background where they're not interacting with it 100% of the time. Kongto is
Yeah, I
one
do
of the
that a
bachelors
lot.
who watch live streams to combat loneliness. This is especially prevalent in Asian countries, where many young men must leave their family villages for work in city factories. Without a familiar face for miles around, they turn to live streams to make their new environment less isolating. If this
That's what mukbangs did too. I don't know if you'll touch on it, but mukbangs also are the reason why they popped off in Korea like a long time ago, like in 2017, is because people were so separated through the pandemic. And before that, it was from overworking, that they wanted to feel like they were eating a meal with someone and they'd want to watch them eat.
helps, then good.
Weird.
On the other hand,
true, though.
it's kind of like an illusion of socially connecting with someone. It really depends on each person's situation and how reliant they are. Will they have a full-on breakdown if their favorite creator gets Thanos snapped away? Or will the world keep turning for them? At the same time,
No, I think that a lot of people on the extreme side will get extremely upset, but ultimately the void can be filled with another streamer that has a similar, like, you know, phenotype and maybe the way they talk or their content. Like, again, it's difficult for some people to get over. Like, for me personally, like, if, I don't know, I'll throw someone out here, like, I don't know, if Pippa stopped streaming, I would be very sad, because it's like, there's not a lot of people that fill the exact same niche. Like, there's overlaps, but yeah, like, I understand that.
might these live streamers be using their fans' loneliness to exploit them for profit? Well, sorta, kinda. Possibly yes.
Maliciously,
今天给大家
maybe.
讲一下怎么样走进土豪的世界。我相信每一个主播其实都想要多拉几个土豪用户嘛，然后提高自己的销售。
Although,
When you start mapping out to a science, I think that's when it becomes a problem. Yeah. If you're still being your authentic self and you're just streaming to, like, people, like, men and women do this, obviously. When you get a bunch of women in a room and you start saying, okay, here you go, here's some notes, this is how you maintain min-maxing them in the stream.
it does take two to tango. No one's forcing you to give away all your life savings just for a chance to be noticed, but it's also
Sure.
scummy to zero in on emotionally vulnerable people. It's like this giant spectrum. There's a lot of online personalities with super fans who support them in a healthy way with boundaries. The creator isn't your BFF, and your fans are also not your BFF. I'd say most of these relationships fall somewhere in the middle, and it should stay that way because the extreme side gets dicey. In recent news, a man in China took things too far when he became obsessed with a streamer. And not in the fun Mariah Carey song type of way. Mr. Hong, a simple fellow who ate plain steam buns every day so he could save up money, not for bills or on a down payment on a house, but to send to his favorite streamer in the form of gifts and tips, which ended up costing him around 100,000 USD? Okay.
Chat, don't do that. I'm $100,000. I get that's in Chinese currency. No, he said it's in $100,000. It's not. It's in dollars. That's insane.
Okay, choices were made, buns were eaten, money was spent. We can feel bad for him, but ultimately it's his responsibility to budget his finances. I think we overspent a little bit here. How about we cut back on the buns?
Someone in Kaisenet's stream who was 13 years old stole their parents' credit card and gave Kaisenet like $12,000 in gifted subs. Look it up, it's real. Yeah. Yeah, chat, don't like I understand it's your money and you're an adult but if you're a kid, don't fucking do that, please.
At least he wasn't blindly donating. He did have an end goal. Mr. Hong wanted to hear his favorite streamer call him brother. Hell yeah, brother. Streams will usually have a ranking metric that shows the amount people have donated, with the highest gifters at the very top. If you're the big dog who's spent the most money, there's more weight to what you have to say. These are referred to.
Is that the streamer's fault though, or is that the platform's fault? Riddle me that though, because you can't turn off leaderboards on, like, for example, Twitch. Yeah, it's the platform's fault because they need to make money.
To as big brothers in China. And the streamer will usually prioritize keeping these rich fans around by giving them more attention. And when you think about it, the one with the most power isn't the streamer themselves, but the person with the most money. All communities will have some sort of hierarchy, even within fandoms. The older brother term in Asia doesn't always mean someone who's blood related. None of that weird King Charles II with the loose jaw stuff going on here. It's like when a girl calls an older guy oppa in Korean or oni-chan in Japanese. These can be terms of endearment you say to a close friend or to someone you're familiar with who's older than you, even in casual settings around strangers. Social hierarchy is really important in Asian countries because it shows respect. Mr. Hong just wanted a really expensive Big Brother shout out, which he probably could have gotten on sale somewhere else. So
did she even give him a shout out? That's what I want to know.
When 100,000 USD wasn't enough to get Mr. Hong his brother title, he started to steal copper materials from his family's business to sell for extra cash. It got to the point where he stole over 300,000 USD and sent every last penny to the streamer, which
he ripped copper out of the walls to go pay for. That's down bad, bro. Ripping, that's what crackheads do, chat. They go into like abandoned houses or like houses that are being worked on, break in and then rip the copper out so that they can get more money.
Was basically his family's life savings.
Looking
into this gave me a jump scare at how common these cases are. Although there are a lot of people who do have the extra money to spend.
Yeah, sure.
寂寞吧，然后就需要一个精神的寄托。是一般是一言不合先刷礼物，进来，什么也没跟你说，就觉得他其实可能在房间待了很久。
现在我还差6万是7级，我现在这个号是48万。
75,000. Oh my god. Hold on, I'll move a little bit. Here we go. Sorry about that.
East Asia has come so far technology-wise, but they have some of the loneliest people living there. A lot of factors come into play. The super high pressure to do well in school, the toxic work environment that sucks up all your free time. It's getting a lot harder to meet people. And all these new inventions make it that much easier to become a hermit on a whim. Don't feel like you belong in any part of society? Isolate yourself at home and be completely fine. Not meant.
And get a VR headset so you can just port into VR chat and talk to people. That's the ultimate way. Again, if I had that kind of money when I was really, really sad and lonely, I think I would have probably ended up going down that route. It's just expensive to get into. If you're mildly well off, or if you have a decent paying job, you can afford it, then yeah.
Of course, but for basic needs, you got a roof over your head, all your meals can be delivered, plus all your entertainment and social needs can be met through a screen. I know some of you are probably thinking, this is my ideal day off, which is okay to do once in a while, but not for long periods of time. The traditional route of school, good job, married, child, buy car, house, then die is becoming less of a reality for most. It also seems like people are realizing, you know what, maybe this isn't the path for me. Even though there's still a bunch of societal pressure, it's a tad more acceptable nowadays to find a different way to live your life.
'Cause you stress, me stress, we all stress.
You know how stressful it is to try and maintain all your relationships nowadays? It's becoming more enticing to just pay someone for social interactions rather than going out and finding them naturally. You know, as they say, money can't buy happiness, but it can sure solve a lot of your problems. Host clubs in Japan are
But the biggest problem is overworking and not having time to yourself, nor to have time for your friends and family. In America, like, if you have a job that's not like dictated by your own, what is it called? By your own work hours, like you decide when you work and when you don't, right? In America, you can't even take like more than like a couple of days off during Christmas. Like, you have to either like take vacations or call ahead. They can also decline you. I think in Japan it's also kind of similar. You're not allowed to like have a lot of leave, and they overwork you. When I used to work a 9 to 5, like, you know, an average job, I remember going to one Christmas with my family, and I was pissed the whole time because the next day I had to go to work. Like, there's no like ifs, buts, or whatever. I had to go to work the day after Christmas. It wasn't like, oh, you can take a day off after Christmas on the 24th or 25th. It's like, nope, you have to. Nope, go fuck yourself. And if you take a day off, that's a ding on you or you get fired. And it's like, that's when I was like, bro, I fucking hate it here.
are really popular spots that cater to a female clientele, where women will pay attractive men to keep them company for the night while drinking. And nothing really happens inside the club other than just chatting. It's mainly the attention and companionship people are seeking without all the baggage.
ホストの人たちって何をする人たちなのか
I watched this.
ちょっと教えていただけますか？
例えば女性だったりのこうお酒を飲む場を楽しませることだったり、あとやっぱりちょっと寂しくてちょっと異性とこう飲みたいなっていう女の人。
What's really bad about this, and I don't mean anything against the person that's doing this, by the way, is that it sets a really high expectation for these lonely women when they get into actual relationships with like actual men. It's really, really bad because these men are entertaining. They're essentially kind of like streamers where they're acting up their personality for the form of being entertaining. And yeah, sure, he's like this. Sure, I'm sure he has some personality traits and some exuberance to being with this person, but he's probably not like 100% like this. Comparing a paid actor to a regular guy. Yes, yeah, in a sense, yes. Like, if you expect Leonardo DiCaprio to act like he does like in his movies, if you're like married to him, it's not realistic.
And if you're not into the bar scene, a man in Japan made a living advertising himself as someone you can hire to just stand there and do nothing.
What? I mean, get your bag, man. That's kind of strong. Huh.
His clients
What?
like having his presence around when they feel like going out but don't want to deal with bothering a friend or feeling the pressure to socialize. And if you need to talk about your problems, he's a great
That is so fucked up. I don't even know where to begin. Having a friend or like a person that barely knows you going and talking to your parents or friends and they're not actually your friend? Yeah, like rent a stranger. I don't get it. I would never do this, but if he's making money off of it, that means there's a need for it. Yeah, no, I'm not saying it's this guy's fault. Absolutely not. I'm just astounded. That's all.
sounding board. This is basically consensual
That's
trauma bonding.
crazy.
Anyone ever feel this? There have been times when I found it was easier to tell a stranger I'll never see again something kind of personal compared to a friend. They don't even have to say anything. If you cosplay as a wall with ears and eyes, that's good enough for me. An introvert's ideal friend. Wall. I always make Sims references, but this is literally having
Honestly,
someone's
yeah.
presence fill up your social media for the week. You know, we don't all have to follow the same path. If you want to spend your money shaving those hot guys in space with
No,
no
thank
facial
you,
hair,
I'm good.
then more power to you. From an outside perspective, it's easy to look at these people and feel bad for them. But paying for companionship is really a case-by-case basis. There are healthy ways to include parasocial relationships into your life, so it ends up in a net positive. I invested a lot of my time and money into content creators, artists, and K-pop idols who don't even know I exist. And I'm totally fine with that, because they're providing me with entertainment and comforting background noise. What helps me from becoming too chronically online is making sure I get up and go outside at some point. The perfect
That's the biggest crux. I think that the extremities of people that don't even like have the desire to interact with people, like even I sometimes just feel cooped up and I want to go to the grocery store and just see people. I do enjoy that. I know I might sound really weird, but like looking at people and seeing them like just doing stuff, it makes it feel like a little bit like real. I don't know. It's hard to explain. Maybe I'm weird, but yeah, like walking the dog, but you're not interacting. You're not like going anywhere. I'm talking about like actually going to like a store or like, I don't know, seeing people pass by. Like going for a walk is different because there's not always people around you, but it's just nice. Only times I leave the house is for gym 2 to 3 times a week. That's good. That's good though. That's really, really good. I have a treadmill and I don't need to go. I don't really want to, but my point is like I enjoy people's like presence, like knowing that they're there. It's kind of comfortable. That's kind of probably why before I started streaming, I was parasocial enough to the point where it's like it's comforting to have someone on a screen just kind of yapping. It was nice. Or like talking in Discord with someone and they're not even talking directly for you for hours. Just knowing that they're there is like, it's like background noise. I think that's pretty normal.
perfect ratio
I'd like to
is
think.
one real-life interaction for every 5 attractive game character or online
This is fucking
interactions.
weird.
Is your exclusive service?
What?
That sounds sus, since I made it up. Just go outside and talk to human, okay? But before you do that, don't forget to give this video a like if you enjoyed yourself here. That's one more food for the YouTube algorithm and one more engagement for me. Have a good day, try not to be dumb, and see you in the next one.
I don't know about that. I'm gonna continue being dumb. Yeah. That was good. That was a good video, guys. Check them out. Edvasian. 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 Thank you so much for the video. That was really good. Food for thought, chat. Food for thought. It is healthy to go outside. I know it's hard to go outside. I know people suck. I totally get it. I just think it's for the best. Again, I am the kind of person that hates interacting with people, but I do enjoy people's presence. That's weird.
For you.